if you've traveled, there's a lot of stuff that just immediately jumps out at you. It's very easy to find timelines on flight stuff. It's very hard to bullshit that. You get like, there aren't that many flights that go from CDG to LAX or whatever, or O'Hare, right? There's not going to be 52 flights a day. Like, it's pretty easy to narrow down everything.
There was 4, and we knew he couldn't be on 2 of them.
Like, my guess is for that chart there, the amount of actual like time spent researching, my guess would be is less than like 5 minutes.
And
you just have to Google like what he tweets time, what the story.
Like, do I even want to pull this up? Okay, Hasan detained, political prisoner. Oh, like. Pro-Gaza streamer says he was detained.
And it's BBC, New York Times, Washington Post, CBS. It's not even like the shitty outlets. It's
The Guardian, Human Rights Watch. Wait, this might not be about him. Hold on, I gotta remove the prisoner part. I was getting too frisky there. Popular Turkish-American online oh, God.
Turkish-American?
It just...
Does he have dual citizenship? He probably does.
Just all this stuff is fucking... And it was a lie. It was a lie. It was a lie. So now we get to something that's come up today. So what happened today? So let's start with the video. Okay, first of all, let's start with the video of Hasan straight from the
piker's mouth.
Straight from the piker's mouth. Exactly. Exactamundo. Play.
And I looked through my emails to find whether or not the Department of Homeland Security had responded to my redress over my trip. I also found out that a while back...
Wait, actually, I'm so sorry.
Pause.
You don't happen to have the VOD link, do you? What does he mean when he says that? My redress over my trip?
I think he was trying to look up, like, what was going on with my trip. Like, he requested information from the DHS, like, why was I pulled aside or some shit, would be my guess. This is cut for the most important part.
Sure. I'm only curious about it because that redress word is going to come up later, which makes me wonder when he knew he didn't have global entry, but... Oh, wait. This was before? Wait, so this wasn't today?
This was today, this video.
Was this today?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Why is Just Brandon, he says like half the shit he says is fucking retarded in chat.
Well, this is chat. Chat is like
no, but Just Brandon has been, he was a chatter that had said a lot of true shit, but then he says retarded
Chat
shit.
is always a quantum computer of a state of both completely incorrect and also the most, how, are you a nuclear physicist? How did you know this?
Oh, no. Okay, Brandon says, and this is what I think, he says his redress was before his trip. So this wasn't a redress related to his trip. This is before his trip.
Okay.
But then he should know.
We can watch the whole thing if you want. Do you want to skip my supercut and go watch the whole thing? I know where it is.
How long is the full thing? If it's just like 2 minutes, then we could just like times 2 it.
All right, fine, fair enough. All right. Twitch.tv/Hasanabi. Oh, he's streaming now. I love it. Yes, this is what I have to do. Hold on, let's just appreciate Twitch's user interface. Hi, I'd like to go back and stream a little bit. How do you do that? Oh, okay. Obviously, you click the avatar. First thing. Okay, then you go to videos, obviously, of course.
And then you go to
Then you click on today's VOD.
Obviously.
Okay, and now it's like you're watching today's VOD. Oh, no, sorry, that was the wrong thing. Sorry, you clicked wrong. You have to go under recent broadcast.
Oh, dumbass.
View all. Then you need to click the one that's right now with no thumbnail whatsoever. Got it. Boom. Okay, then you need to go about 22 minutes into this. And wait for it to load. It's thinking. All right.
Hogwatch boot edition.
Hogwatch
Right-wing response to tyranny.
It's like 22:30. This starts.
ICE raids expand as protests expand around the nation. Zoran momentum in New York City. Israel keeps killing Palestinians.
What is he doing? Is he tweeting?
He's typing his title of his stream.
Oh.
Did you see, by the way, this is like one of my greatest finds ever.
Okay.
Before October 7th of 2023, in the previous 2 years, do you know how many times Hasan tweeted about Israel or Gaza or Palestine?
Previous 2 years? 0
2
times?
years. Yeah. Well, you're supposed to say, I don't know, 50 times? 0
My guess
times.
is the last time I came up was during the Sheikh Shiraz stuff, which was like 4 years
0
ago.
times in 2 years before October 7th. This warrior for Palestine. Anyways, let's continue. As soon as he finishes his title, he gets right into it.
Okay. All right, let's blast off. Also, I got an update. The Department of Homeland Security, I was doing an interview with some Japanese newspaper this morning, and I looked through my emails to find whether or not the Department of Homeland Security had responded.
He says he was doing an interview with a Japanese newspaper. Do you think he said 2 hours or I don't give a shit, I don't remember how long it was? What do you think he told the Japanese newspaper?
I think it must have been about another issue because that's old news and we don't talk about that anymore.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
To my redress over my trip, and they have responded. Actually, as a matter of fact, they responded this past Monday. Okay? But in the process of their response, I also found out that a while back, they had also revoked my global entry. So I finally got a response back from the Department of Homeland Security. But they had already taken away my global entry clearance months prior.
I know you're going to say pause there, so I want to go
No,
ahead.
I'm not. I don't even know what's happening right now.
Okay.
Well, no, so I mean, I understand. I just don't. So wait, because he never. No, let's go. I'm exploring. I'm in.
Play or
Yeah.
back?
Go. Play.
It's okay if you want to watch it back again and re-understand.
Well, I don't understand why I didn't hear why they stopped and questioned him, because he's making it sound like he sent a redress about his actual trip.
Let's start from the beginning again.
Well, he hasn't said it yet. So I was,
Seeking aid and more. Get in now.
Okay. Just like take it in, because I've had a few drinks. So.
Okay. All right, let's blast off. Also, I got an update. The Department of Homeland Security, I was doing an interview with some Japanese newspaper this morning, and I looked through my emails to find whether or not the Department of Homeland Security had responded to my redress over my trip. And they have. They have responded. Actually, as a matter of fact, they responded this past Monday. Okay? But in the process of their response, I also found out that a while back, they had also revoked my global entry. So I finally got a response back from the Department of Homeland Security. But they had already taken away my global entry clearance months prior. Now, global entry is, for those of you who don't know, they revoked it before my entry, and I didn't even know. And what's even crazier is at no point did they even mention that they had revoked my global entry. They don't even mention it in the redress letter.
You mean they never mentioned to me that they canceled my fucking global entry except for when they emailed and mentioned that they canceled my global entry. Like, that's it. They never mentioned it to me except for the time that they mentioned it to me. Like, no one showed up at my door with my Uber Eats order.
Are these two different emails? What Ocker him or these are two different emails.
No, the first one,
I think this is like one email. That's his cancellation.
The first one is about global entry.
Yeah, but I think this might be his redress. This is maybe.
Oh, it definitely looks. It definitely looks like two emails. We're gonna get there.
We'll get there.
Which is so psychotic.
Psychotic.
They never. No one had ever even informed me.
Except
and never did the Department of Homeland.
Except for the time that they informed him.
God, hold on. I just want you to know.
I'm ready to learn.
Okay? Or maybe you know, okay? But for the rest of us, okay?
Why would I maybe know? I'm a traveler.
No, it's not about being a traveler. It's about dealing with customers. Oh. This is a customer. A customer is a person who comes to me and is like, you guys didn't even fucking tell me. And it's like, we emailed you, ma'am. And like, besides the email, you didn't even tell me. It's like, what the fuck do you want us? We literally sent you an email. That's how you communicate. But okay, all right.
Homeland Security, even in the redress letter, because in the redress letter, I actually mentioned that I have global entry and I'm a known traveler, because global entry means you are a known, trusted traveler, okay? That means that the Department of Homeland Security looked through your entire, your entire profile. I talked about this before. They looked through my, my criminal background, everything, right? Where I've lived.
Like the DUI that he got, they took him in for.
Based.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and decided that I am fine to get expedited access into the country and not.
No, they took your information and you didn't immediately set off any red flags, and they said this is not a final approval. We're going to go and put you through the whole thing, but in the meantime, here's your temporary approval.
Conditional approval.
Conditional
approval. And then you can do an interview when you land in or when you schedule one, yeah.
Yep.
Sit in the same fucking line. It's basically... global entry can be revoked for really silly reasons as well, by the way. Or I guess technically good reasons, but like for those of you who don't know, if you bring a banana into the country and they actually find that you brought a banana into the country, it's over. You are...
That's not true.
I hate that he just said this.
It is so stupid.
Well,
it is not true.
It might be true.
No, you could bring a fucking banana, and you're not going to lose your global entry. It's only if you're like bringing in a fucking box of bananas. Like you can buy a banana inside the airport and eat it on the plane.
Maybe. The qualifier that I'll give here, and I only know this because I've traveled to more exotic places. But there are certain countries, and I'm sure this is true in the U.S., and I just don't know the fruits, whatever. But there are certain countries where there are ecosystems that can be. Fuck! It sounds like I'm about to tell a huge lie. I'm not lying right now, Dan.
I was just waiting for like an Epstein.
No. I'm not doing your mom joke, and I'm not fucking anything. Okay, but when it comes to like it sounds like
just know. I'm
not lying.
If you do it, I'm not going to forgive you.
Okay, then you don't have to forgive me.
I'm going to trust you. Go ahead.
Agriculture and ecosystem shit is like really tightly controlled in certain areas. So when I was flying from like the North Island to the South Island,
yes, I know. I've watched the Australian show where
in Australia, and in New Zealand, the same. They'll check you. Like you can't have a single fruit. You can't have a single seed. Sometimes they'll go like you can't have bugs on you.
In your checked luggage.
Yeah, or your carry-on.
So it's actually different. So the stuff that's inside of the airport, like if you're eating a banana inside of the international terminal.
Well, if you bought it in security, it's fine.
Right,
but they're not worried about stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're not worried about stuff. They're worried about because there are some species of like, I don't know if it applies to bananas or not, but they're like, once they are in the ground, they will take over everything.
Did you know there's no rabies in Hawaii?
I didn't know that.
It's true.
cool.
No snakes either. Not a single fucking snake. Not a single rabies.
That's crazy. Okay, all I'm saying is that
I'm gonna bring a rabbit
the
snake in
agriculture
there.
shit, it might not apply to the US because we have so much shit anyway here and it's a big country or whatever, but like the agriculture shit is real. And if you go to certain countries, they will fuck you hard if you're trying to like sneak in produce or whatever, because if this shit like winds up on the ground somewhere, like you can have like catastrophic like damages to
Yes,
these
I know that.
I didn't want to say that because he was like blowing it off like it was a stupid meme. It's like, it's not. It matters. It's important, okay? All right.
Yeah. All right.
Are no longer allowed to have global entry because you brought in an agricultural product that could be damaging to the natural ecosystem. So like it's stuff like that. It's basically TSA pre-check for international travelers. It's like a higher degree of TSA pre-check for those of you who don't know.
It's the same version of pre-check.
Having said that,
it gives you.
No, it's not specific.
It gives you pre-check when you get global entry, but you don't get like ultra pre-check. It doesn't make any difference for domestic travel of
True.
anything.
California global entry is California, not California, America. Okay.
DGG chat is having someone that's never stepped outside of their fucking
Who cares
small
about him?
town.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck you,
That's what
Izul.
our superior kick chatters for. Hi, kick chat.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm going over to Kick Chat.
Go.
Now listen. Bananas are dangerous? Yes. Agricultural products. Yes, agricultural products could be considered dangerous to the natural wildlife.
Oh,
this is
good.
something that I understand.
The chat called him out on it.
This is
Thank
something
you.
that I think is perfectly valid for the government to be. This is one of the aspects of global, like TSA or not TSA, sorry, DHS's like actual primary roles. Customs and Border Patrol's primary role is to make sure that you're not fucking.
Is he gonna say okay to revoke you for a banana, not okay to revoke you for loving Hamas? I don't know.
Well, careful. I don't even say that because we don't even know if that's what happened.
I don't.
We still, to this point, don't even know if he ever had global entry.
no, but I mean, I think the most likely. Well, we're gonna get there. Let's press play.
Smuggling seeds or some shit into the country or harmful, like you might be carrying harmful bacteria or whatever. Like that is their job. That's like the only job that they have. To ensure that there aren't invasive species that are coming into the country. Okay, and disrupting the ecosystem. Anyway, listen, whatever, invasive species, all this stuff. Now, what's interesting, however, about this entire process is they did not fucking tell me what the reason for the revocation of global entry was, because I looked it up, and okay, it says, "Dear Hasan Piker,
Wait, stop
thank you
real
for your
quick.
participation in the."
He's going to say, he'll read this, but just to be clear. So,
To be clear,
at the start,
clear.
At the start of all this,
Yes.
okay, you're lucky I'm more mad at Hasan than I would make fun of you for that mistake, okay? At the start of all this, so right now Hasan has said, and we've gotten a reiteration of this now for the 50th time, we do not know why he was revoked global entry or any of that. We have
But
no
we can
idea.
make some inferences.
True, but you can try to make inferences, but we don't know at all.
We don't know.
So anybody saying that like, oh, like he was discriminated against for his political views or any of that, we have no idea. And there's no reason right now to suspect that. There hasn't been an iota of evidence to suggest that. Okay, but go ahead.
The Global Entry Program of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Global Entry is a voluntary program available to travelers that pass a
Do we want to look at do we want him to read it, or do we want to read it ourselves?
He'll probably show a picture if that's
comprehensive
where
background investigation.
all caught up.
Applicants found to be ineligible for global entry participation may still be permitted to enter into the United States, although they will not be permitted to use the global entry lanes. We regret to inform you that your membership in global entry has been revoked for the following reason, in parentheses S, reasons. There's a big space there, and the only thing that it says is, you do not meet program eligibility requirements.
Does he say he never gives a date for that email, does he?
Oh, he does. He does later on.
Oh, well, let's keep going. Does he say it in here?
I don't know.
Okay,
This
keep
is
going.
after they gave it to me.
After they gave it to him?
So, that's it.
It's on March 5th that he received this email.
Was it revoked before Trump's inauguration? No, after. After. I got conditional approval before, way before Trump. I got conditional approval in 2024. I got a full-blown approval notification after Donald Trump's inauguration on 2/6, and then the revocation on 3/5.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that it was revoked.
Oh
And
my
truth is,
God.
When I entered the
I'm so good. Did you see that? Did you see how I said 3-5 before 3-5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he must have gone to an airport and done the interview then prior to 2/6 or whatever?
Or I mean, yeah, that's possible.
2/6 is 2/6/25 is when he
Or
returned
maybe
from
he never
Japan.
even got the interview. Maybe they're just like, you know what,
Oh,
fuck
2/6
this
is
guy.
when he came back from Japan. So he did the conditional interview when he came back from Japan.
Yeah,
And he got
perhaps.
global entry. Okay.
Okay.
the country through global entry, they didn't even actually tell me that I didn't have global entry. At
Except for telling him in an email that he doesn't have global entry.
no point in that detention did
March.
they ever say I don't have global entry. When the Customs and Border Patrol, when the Department of Homeland Security released a statement, they didn't say, like, it was not even a consideration at all, which is very interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting that the government, famously known for always having all of its information in one spot, did not have their information in one spot for this particular issue.
Well, for this, I don't know if I believe he went through the global entry line, but also when it comes to security related stuff, they're never going to tell you the reason when they probably shouldn't, right?
Why would they?
They're not going to say like,
I'm not gonna
oh,
make
the
it
reason
easy.
why we didn't clear you is because we cooperate with the states and we pulled a record. And for people that have a class 1, blah, 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 like they're not going to say, they're just going to say, oh, sorry, you didn't pass the security check and that's it. Because the more information you release, the less the security matters, right?
Yeah, obviously. When
Yeah.
I'd be like, we got you with the special handgun detector.
Sure.
You know? All right.
I think they let you reapply in a year. I don't think I'm going to reapply in a year. Now, global entry simply is. Yo, Hasan, XUC reacted to your take on the ICE protest. Just wanted to say you're 100% right.
All right, I think that's like about the end of
Well,
that.
he must show pictures of the thing, right? Because that's where Aqua pulled the
Yeah,
pictures
but
from,
I don't know where it is the problem. Do you want to just go? We can go to the Awk stuff.
If you want, I'm just curious if he says anything else about it. Wait, play for like 30 more seconds.
All right.
You weren't defending property damage. You were making a moral consistency argument. If people are mad about business getting hit, they should be 10x as mad about immigrants and with no due process. The problem is that you being radical.
I hate the way he reads people's messages.
Yeah, I have a global entry card. They mailed it to me. I have it. I used it.
Pause.
No.
In any case,
He should show the card. Why not?
Well, first off, it doesn't matter if he even has it. Using it, it makes it sound like you swipe it at the airport. You fucking enter the number when you
Probably when you book your ticket.
when you book your ticket. You don't take your global entry card with you, and you're like, "Sir, global entry." Like it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. He did have global entry though. He must have.
Yeah, and it got revoked. They gave
And it got
they
revoked.
gave him a card, and then they're like, "Oh, wait a second, this guy fucked up his paperwork."
Did he? No, I don't think so.
Could have. Why not? He fucked it up once. He forgot to bring
Because
his
if they
passport.
approved it, if they did the conditional interview when he came back in Japan and he passed it,
Well, we don't know that that's the case, by the way.
it was the date he came back from Japan.
Yeah, I understand that's a day he came back from Japan, but he could have done the interview at the airport and not had to do the conditional thing.
No. He was conditionally approved, went to Japan. Then when he came back, then he did the interview and then got fully approved. That's what he said in 2/6 or whatever. So after that, they mailed him the car, whatever, and then in 305 or whatever, then he got it revoked, I guess, on March 5th or whatever.
Okay,
But
maybe he entered something incorrectly on his application.
But I mean, I don't know if that's possible, but that's more likely than think about Hasan up to that point. Are we saying that Hasan was harshly critical of the administration up to, or like just after in that month? Like it doesn't make sense that they approved it and then they prejudiced against him and took it away in a month. Like why would they even approve it? Like none of this makes sense if this is like a politically
I don't believe
motivated-
it to be political at all.
Yeah,
I think the only thing I know for sure is that Hasan has repeatedly, I believe, fucked this up. The first time I
Yes,
think he missed his appointment. The second time he forgot his passport. I believe that's how it was.
I don't remember that. I know the first time for his appointment he went to it, but he didn't have his passport. Maybe he missed an appointment too, but okay.
So I can go off of Occam's razor is that Hasan is so retarded that he not only didn't bring his fucking passport to a global entry interview, but that he didn't check his mail for how many months now? From the government.
Oh, email.
Email.
Yeah.
He didn't check his email. Like, how else are they? Okay.
it's not that significant. The global entry revocation is not that significant. They also, like I was saying, the only reason why I found out about this is because I was looking through my email to see what my redress. I found my.
One more thing. Wait, why would the global entry revocation not be significant? That would probably be the thing that, as a traveler, curious. You're internationally traveled, right?
I am.
Right? Would you be
A man of mystery.
Would you be concerned if you came back to the U.S. and they flagged you and you had to do 30 minutes of questioning in a?
I would. I'd be like, that's not good.
Would you really? You would be?
For a half hour?
Or for however long it takes.
For
you to go
10
back
minutes,
and-
no.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, because the thing for me, it was the hour is just sitting there waiting for you to get fucking called.
No. But like, it all depends on the situation. Like them asking you like 10 minutes, you're random screened? No.
Sure.
Who gives
Okay.
a shit?
Would you be worried if you got an email saying, for reasons we can't tell you, we've revoked your global entry?
I would be freaking the fuck out.
That would concern me a million times more than getting pulled aside for and screaming. I like how he's just very nonchalant about like, yeah, so a month after I got approved for my global entry, which was a huge hassle to get, it sounds like.
Yeah.
They revoked it. And then he's like, but that doesn't matter. Who cares? Well, wouldn't that be like, because that's where they're really going through your records and going through everything else. Wouldn't that be the thing you'd be most concerned about?
Yeah,
Why
you'd
did
be
I
like,
give
wait a minute,
fuck about
are you guys about to arrest me?
Yeah,
what's
like go
going
back,
on?
my first thing, maybe I'm being paranoid. My first thing would be like, am I no-fly listed?
Yeah,
because
like,
that
what
can
is
happen
happening?
without notice at all to you. And like, you just revoked my TSA.
That's like a serious thing to have happen.
That's weird. Yeah, if I was rejected for it, then I'd be like, okay, whatever. But revoked means that you approved it and then somebody went back through it and said, not this guy, or something has changed. That would be really, I'd be like, am I flagged right now? Is something going on?
I would be concerned.
I'm just go back like 2 things or whatever. He says it. He's just like, I don't care. Just push the back button. Like 4 times.
trip redress. Not about this.
Oh, yeah.
Cat.
Yeah, I have a global entry card. They mailed it to me. I have it. I used it. In any case, it's not that significant. The global entry revocation is not that significant.
Not a big deal.
Also, like I was saying, the only reason why I
NBD.
found out about this is because I was looking through my email to see.
Also
what
do
my
1.5.
redress, I found my trip redress from the Department of Homeland Security, where 2 days ago on Monday, June 19th, I got an email that said, "Thank you for submitting your request for redress to the Department of Homeland Security Traveler Redress Inquiry Program, DHS TRIP. DHS TRIP has researched and completed its review of the redress case for Hasan Piker. And then it tells you to go and access your account on the website. Okay? Or June 9th, sorry, not 19th. I apologize. June 9th.
Hasan's a little fast and loose with the dates.
Basically, the entire letter for the TRIP redress inquiry is just, it's like more obscure. It is more obscure than like a Twitch TOS ban. Okay, you know how people complain about Twitch not giving you information, like detailed information on why you got banned and shit? It is.
Oh my God! Right now, I feel like a man, and he's using a word that he's not allowed to use. You do not get to talk about indiscriminate Twitch bans that are not fair. Okay, that is our word as the permanently banned man. Okay, the permanently banned men.
Reminds me of being on shows with Trainwrecks, and Trainwrecks is like, you guys don't know what it's like to be hated by everyone on Twitch. And I'm just like saying, like, Train, you literally have a podcast with like 7 other people on right now. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. Oh God.
I love Train. Go ahead.
Is literally identical to the TOS sheet that they send you if you're lucky at all to receive one after getting fucking suspended from Twitch.
It's so fucking annoying.
It basically just offered me a
Yeah, that sucks when that happens, man. That happens to Hasan all the time. He gets banned and he has no idea why, and it's for so long.
True.
It's just so unfair.
It just offered me a wholesale list of reasons for why people get stopped. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you right now.
Okay.
Dear Hasan Piker, wait, hold on. I pulled it up. Hold on, I'll just pull it up again. Hold on. I'm gonna hide some of the information on it though. Hold on.
He's getting there, guys. Hold on.
Windows
I know the
user.
background music is still on. Hold on.
One sec, guys.
Windows user.
Here's the final determination letter. Here's the CBP letter.
The CP letter. Okay.
Ooh.
Learning some things about Hasan here. Oh.
This man's having so much trouble working his email.
Okay.
It's not there, Hasan. You can't control F that.
Okay. Hold up. Pictures, screenshots.
Point of view,
God.
your
He's
destiny
going
on
to the
anything else,
screenshots
waiting for
folder?
Dan to try to go to another tab. What?
He's going to the screenshots folder.
Okay, so-
not that bad.
True.
I just paste it.
True.
Here it is. Let's pull this up like here. Redact everything? No, it's just my address.
Redact.dev,
Like, or
everything.
other additional information. Okay. Dear Hasan Piker, thank you for submitting your traveler inquiry form and identity documentation to the Department of Homeland Security Traveler Redress Inquiry Program, DHS TRIP. DHS's mission is to lead the unified national efforts to secure the country, including U.S. border and transportation.
DHS Trip sounds like a fucking sick rapper name.
DHS Trip.
Yo, did you see DHS Trip's latest fucking album?
Damn.
Shit was legit. All right.
Security. We take requests for redress seriously, and we understand the inconveniences that additional inspections may cause. DHS strives to process travelers in the most efficient and professional manner possible without compromising our mission to safeguard the United States, its people, and its visitors. When DHS TRIP receives a redress inquiry, we conduct a thorough review of the matter. We consult and share information with other agencies when appropriate to relieve you from the burden of seeking redress of an agency-by-agency basis to address the issue that you identified in your application. We have found about 2% of DHS TRIP complainants actually have some connection to the terrorist watch list. Complaints most often arise either because the traveler's name and personal information is similar to the name and personal information of another person in the systems. This is actually what I hear most often from people. No, they're not saying I am fucking related to the terrorist watch list. This is just a copy-paste statement that everybody gets. Okay? Calm down before you misunderstand it. This is literally just like this is a blanket statement that everyone receives when they write a complaint. This is all it is. It's boilerplate.
He says, as he has zero information about this letter or where.
I mean, it looks boilerplatey, to be fair.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that backing me up right there.
No
But
problem.
it's not specific to me. You guys are failing to understand. Complaints most often arise because the traveler's name and personal information is similar to the name and personal information of another person in systems which contain information from federal, state, local, and foreign sources, or because the traveler has been delayed in travel for reasons unrelated to such data, such as by random screening. DHS TRIP has researched and completed our review of your case. DHS TRIP, this part is amazing, can neither confirm nor deny any information about you which may be within federal watch lists or reveal any law enforcement sensitive information. However, we have made any corrections to records that our inquiries determined were necessary, including, as appropriate, notations that may assist in avoiding incidents of misidentification. For your general information, here's how redress helps you when traveling. It's like, again, that's just general information. Give me why I got fucking, like, I'm asking why I got specifically detained, and they're just like, listen, we can't confirm or deny what it is, but we've made necessary changes. Okay.
Well,
Wait, what?
When traveling by air,
I didn't see any.
they didn't say that. They just said that if something was fucked up and they discovered it, they would make those changes. I seriously doubt. Again, they're not. I would. Well, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I seriously doubt you can ask specifically why you were pulled over, like you're detained at an airport, because that would be security related information. They're just not going to give away to people, right?
True.
Like imagine you're on a website and it's like, oh, for some reason I flagged like the bot thing. Can you tell me exactly what algorithm detects bot activity on your site? And
I
it's
like that analogy.
Yeah.
That's good.
or within the United States, DHS recommends that you provide your redress control number located at the top of this letter when making your reservations. Providing this information will help prevent misidentifications from occurring during security checks against government records and other information. Now, my name is Hasan Piker. I know that I am not, I know that my name is not getting dinged on any sort of watch list because it's like similar to someone who's already on a terrorist watch list or something, okay? Because that is very common. I've asked like a bunch of people,
How the fuck
a
do
lot
you
of
know
Muslims,
that?
okay?
I don't know.
Who have,
Okay.
you know, especially like Arab names that will oftentimes get stopped for the.
Do you think there's a Hasan Piker support club? Like everyone, they all hang out, a bunch of Hasan Pikers. They're like, eh.
Yeah, I don't know why he would know that or not, but okay.
This reason. Hasan Piker is not a common name at all. I mean, Hasan is, but Piker is a very unique last name. I know this because my grandfather literally chose it, okay? My grandfather chose it.
Okay.
In the surname revolution in Turkey. Not exactly a common last name. Anyway, when traveling by air within the United States, providing this information will help prevent misidentifications from occurring during security checks against government records and other information. In most online reservation systems, your redress control number may be entered at the same time you enter your full name and date of birth. When entering the United States from abroad, no additional action is required. Where appropriate, as a result of the redress process, a DHS employs a procedure to correct the information used to process travelers at the ports of entry that reduces the chance of misidentifications occurring.
I don't know if I can watch Hasan for this whole thing. Like this is really great and all, but
Wait, I'll give it 2 more minutes because he says random things sometimes and they get more insight into like the whole thing. Just you're fine. You love Hasan. Go.
I don't.
I'm humoring.
This is stochastic terrorism.
You're Hasan exception because I'm obsessed now for this clip. So let's just we're almost done, okay?
Which is really funny. Despite these positive efforts, we cannot ensure your travel will be delay-free. The redress process does not affect other standard screening procedures in place at airports and borders. For example, an individual may be selected for additional screening in order to resolve a walk-through metal detector alarm because of random selection or other reasons. While this process may sometimes be stressful, we rely on the patient cooperation and understanding of travelers in such cases. This is just boilerplate, okay?
Yeah.
In your redress inquiry, you've raised concerns which fall under the purview of U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Okay.
We attach the CBP's response to you on those specific concerns raised in your redress inquiry.
Okay.
Okay, that was from the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
So
what did CBP say?
let's take a look at what the Customs and Border Patrol's response was.
Okay.
Because the previous one we just read was DHS.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody get
Customs
this
and
guy.
Border Patrol says, wait, hold on.
Get this guy a Zins.
Is this a Mihawk upscale? Take off the fucking jersey, Hasan. Customs and Border Patrol is tasked with protecting our nation's borders as well as enforcing numerous laws, blah, 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 blah. Government agencies, including state and local enforcement. Again, boilerplate. Occasionally, CBP may inconvenience law-abiding persons in an effort to detect deter. After careful review, we have determined that your global entry program membership was revoked because you do not meet the guidelines of the program for program participation. An individual is ineligible to participate in the trusted traveler programs if Customs and Border Patrol, at its sole discretion, determines that the individual presents a potential risk for terrorism, criminality, violating customs, agriculture, and/or immigration laws, or is otherwise not a low-risk traveler. This risk determination will be based in part on an applicant's ability to demonstrate past compliance with laws, regulations, or policies. Okay? Reasons why an applicant may not qualify for participation include, but is not limited to, this applicant provides false or incomplete information on the application. The applicant has been arrested for or convicted of any criminal offense or has denied firearms transactions, pending criminal charges, protection orders. Applicant has been found in violation of any customs, immigration, or agricultural regulations. Obviously, none of this works for me. Okay?
Obviously.
None of these things. This is, again, boilerplate. This is not, they're not saying I'm a terrorist. They're saying that if you are on a watch list, like these are some of the common reasons as to why people, you know, are no longer eligible to be on it. None of this applies to me. The whole point is that none of this literally fucking applies to me at all, unless there's something I don't know, like I'm a subject of a ongoing investigation or something. But once again, that would be ridiculous because I am a law-abiding citizen and have never done any crimes whatsoever.
Except for the DUI.
So
what is he alleging then? If he's not on, if he doesn't think he's on a watch list or he doesn't think he's
I
being
wonder
targeted.
if this has some.
That they're just like JKing, and that like that's like they're not going to tell him.
What
like,
are
They're he's trying to be like, oh, they arrested me for my political speech, and they just gave me a bogus reason why.
But wouldn't they just say that's related to terrorism?
Yeah, they would.
Okay, wait. He was about to say something insightful. 1 more minute.
Something to do with the anti-Israel stuff specifically. Because once again, as I told you, I got the application. I applied for global entry and became a known trusted traveler and got global entry. For those of you who don't know, global entry is the Department of Homeland Security.
You know, I'm noticing, I don't like, oh God, you do it too.
What?
You both have bangs, and it's just not good.
It's just hair that grows on the front of your head. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, you have it back.
Yeah,
like,
when I do that, people call me Lego hair. So now what? Now I'm fucked, Dan.
I don't know.
There. Now I'm going to be Lego hair head. Thank you.
It's fine.
Now I look like a Lego hair head, and they're going to make fun of me in the subreddit, in my sub again. And the homies are going to...
Where you go there, they look through your whole fucking criminal background, including, like, even if you've ever been arrested, it literally shows up. Even if you've been arrested and it never actually dings on your record because you were arrested 10 years ago, as I was, that still shows up. It's the most comprehensive database that they have. And after looking through that, there's an interview process. You do the interview process. They ask you questions about it, whatever. And they give you a card. I have the card. A known traveler, like a global entry pass. Okay?
Oh my God.
This card, in and of itself, is basically like your social security number. It has the same power as your passport. Like, you could literally have this card with you when you're traveling in most circumstances, and it basically plays the same role as a passport or identification. Okay?
That's true?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They fucking gave me that card and you know, all this stuff. So
Wait, are you fucking me? Wait, pause for a sec.
No, it's.
Can you show a global entry card and not have a passport?
No, you cannot do that.
Okay, I've never heard that in my life before. That's crazy. You're like, don't arrest me. And they're like, who are you? And it's like, I'm an American citizen. And they're like, what is that
Global
laminated
entry
plastic card? This is my global entry card. I am a trusted traveler. Excuse me.
They don't give this to just anyone.
Did you ever get a physical global entry card?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if they mailed mine or not.
in any case, it's,
this is
it's
real
like
ass
Disney
card.
Fast Pass. Okay, it's a real ID. It's the same as like a real ID. So
it is an
entry is
ID.
not a passport, but it's to the same. Like
It's
I
not a
think you
passport,
can
though.
literally. I don't want to misinform people, but I'm pretty sure you can. It's,
Okay.
God forbid
it's the
Hasan
same role
misinforms
as a real
someone.
ID. Like
How much more of this do I have to
it plays
watch?
the same role as like your.
I wanna
your-
move
One more
on
minute.
to
One
the
more minute.
next
And then we're done.
driver's
One more minute. We're
license.
almost done.
When were you arrested? 2013. It's been a long time ago. It's not. It's irrelevant. And I never got charged or convicted with anything. I never even got prosecuted. But in any case, let's continue. So after careful review, we determined global entry program membership was revoked because you do not meet the guidelines of the participation.
Okay.
An individual is ineligible to participate in the trusted travel program if CBP at his sole discretion determines the individual potential. No, we already did that. So
Okay.
they gave me the global entry program. They gave me the access to the global entry program, and then they just fucking revoked it. At no point was I informed about this revocation. They didn't even tell me about it in the fucking detention.
He was informed. They emailed him.
They did. They emailed you and let you know that you were revoked.
Okay. Wait.
It
Okay.
was like they didn't tell me in person.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Only after I asked this redress inquiry do they reveal this. The Department of Homeland Security itself came out with a statement, and they didn't even mention it,
Why would they?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Okay. Keep going.
which is crazy. And when I'm like, I mean, there's no.
Like, imagine how upset he would be if like we revoked your shit. Like,
Yeah,
why are
would
they
you even
releasing my
publicly
personal
announce it?
information?
Yeah, that'd be weird for them to even publicly announce it. But okay, go on.
There's no reason for this revocation to begin with, especially because like I already had it. I had it, and they revoked it. I believe in. I mean, No, it wasn't retroactively revoked. It was retroactively revoked regardless. Like, as in, it was revoked, but it wasn't retroactively revoked. It was revoked on. I got the conditional approval on 3/29/2024. I got the approval notification on 2/6/2025. I got my car.
Wait.
2/6. That's when he came back from Japan. He did the
3/29/24. And then February 6th, he got approved. A year?
So when I filed for the thing, the appointments were literally like 6 months out. Don't quote me on this, but I think the conditional approval might last for 3 years. Like, basically, you get conditionally approved, and then when you come back in internationally, you can take the interview and you come back. And it sounds like that's what he did coming in from Japan. It might
I
just
got
be
it in the
1 year.
mail,
but yeah.
under the Trump administration. The revocation happened on the 5th of March, so months ago. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I believe global entry just lets officials know that you aren't banned from traveling to any other countries. Some have laws restricting travel for people convicted of certain crimes. No.
What?
Global entry
Okay.
is...
He's almost done. He's almost done.
global entry is a fast pass for land border crossing as well, yeah.
Okay.
Global entry can be used at the point of entering the country through a land border, and that's what I meant when I said, like, it basically fills the role of a passport in that regard.
Okay.
Now...
Okay. Now, hold on. Important thing coming up right here. Important.
Anyway, so all of this stuff, applicant cannot satisfy CBP or of his or her low risk status or meet other program requirements. So like these are all of the boilerplate reasons as to why they put it in here like that someone might lose their global entry status. The applicant is the subject of an investigation by any federal, state, or local law enforcement agency in any country. The applicant is inadmissible to the United States under applicable immigration laws, or has at any time been granted a waiver of inadmissibility or parole. The applicant is known or suspected of having been engaged in conduct constituting in preparation for, in aid of, or related to terrorism, or it cannot satisfy CBP. So it's discretionary, and they don't even fucking say anything in it. They don't even say anything like the Customs and Border Patrol doesn't actually reveal any real information.
All right, there's no more here.
In the event you were
I can't keep going.
10 seconds.
They don't even specify why I was detained.
10.
They don't specify why I was
9,
detained because part of it, part of my inquiry on the redress
7,
to Department of Homeland Security's trip
6,
was I have global entry, and even then
5,
I got I got stopped. What the fuck
4,
is that about? So the Customs and Border Patrol part of this
3,
that specifically talks about the global entry says like, oh no, your global entry's been revoked.
2,
but they never address why I was stopped to begin
1,
with. They never actually address why those questions were asked, because these are the questions that I asked in my inquiry.
0.
Okay? Free speech protections will not
One with just on the free speech, and then you're done. And then you're done. Just the free speech, and then you're done.
extend to disruptive speech that the government decides is not good. Just as it did in the past, like the McCarthy trials against suspected communists.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So now
I wish that he would like. I don't know if this is just me because I try not to be a lying fuck, but I wish that he would like if I was going to publish something like this, like when I read a manifesto and shit, I would have like this is my email, this is my inquiry, this is what they emailed me.
Put it out
here's
there.
the date. Like the screenshots that he posted almost looked like he just Googled like boilerplate DHS response and then just swapped his name at the top. They don't even look like they came from an email. Now they could have, but it doesn't look like it, right? But whatever. Okay.
Well, so
Okay,
now
next
we
thing, okay.
we arrive at our main course, if
Okay.
you will.
Main course.
So you've had the tasting menu, and now this is the main course. So
Okay.
you've had the appetizer,
the second
the
appetizer.
second appetizer, the cold and the hot appetizer. You've had the drinks. You've had like the not a dinner but a dinner, and now the filet mignon
Okay.
is coming. Here we go.
Oh, you're making a piece of the fillet?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you read it out?
Wait, so I was completely correct that Hasan was detained / questioned for his protected political speech, LOL. Yeah, we have no information has been released demonstrating any of that at all.
Yeah. This is a insane statement to make because here's the thing. I don't understand how Pisco can be an attorney, okay, and also say something that, like, I feel like an attorney would be like, this is interesting. I'd like to see more information about this. But instead, Pisco's coming out here and saying,
Well, to be fair, this isn't like necessarily a legal proceeding or anything.
sure. He's like, oh yeah, proven right, 100%. This was the Trump administration going after him because he was Hasan Piker and he loves Palestinians. And it's like, none of that was proven there whatsoever.
And there's plenty of evidence that seems to the contrary of that, and the story continues to get weirder and weirder. And Hasan has basically completely abandoned his original narrative. So if you had that perspective initially, that perspective I feel has only weakened as time has gone on and as more information come out. So it was weird to be like, yeah, I was totally vindicated on this.
On what? Every part of what Hasan said so far has been bullshit. It's a guy that fucked up his first global entry application.
At least the first one, yeah.
At least the first one, maybe two. It depends on how good my memory is. And then not only that, he's provably completely fabricated the second interaction that he had.
Yeah.
Just fucking lying.
Yeah.
And now you want to come out and say, oh, this is horrible. He was pulled aside because of his political beliefs. And you have no evidence of that whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
complete bullshit. There's literally no evidence of this. And it's just kind of crazy to take a victory lap. It's like if I imagine that this whole thing right here, instead of being 3 images of a letter that Hasan revealed, imagine it was just a piece of fried chicken. And it would make about as much sense of like his statement there. Wait, so I was completely correct that Hasan was detained, questioned for his protected political speech? LOL. What below indicates that that is the case? Nothing. Like you have nothing. You have that. This is like it's even worse for Hasan. Hasan is so fucking stupid.
And the inconsistent parts on Hasan's story, I think, are the things are why I'm confident in saying he's lying 100%. I don't even need any more facts.
Yeah.
When he says when the empanada pushback happens, he's like, was it 50 minutes or 2 hours? And he's like, oh, I don't know, who gives a shit? That's like a whoa. What do you mean who gives a shit, bro? We're like 150 articles deep. You are the #1 example of alternative media, political prosecution by the Trump administration coming back into the United States as a U.S. citizen. You are the number one example of that happening so far. You are literally the highlight. Up to this point, I still think he's the number one example of this happening. What do you mean, who gives a shit? The specifics are pretty important here, or at the very least, the substance is like really important here. So there was that first part. And then there was a second thing.
Take your time.
I forgot it now. But there were two reasons why.
Why else was it a big deal?
No. There were two. The first part was he was inconsistent on that. And then the second part, there was a second part, but I don't remember. It must not have been that important. Oh, I feel like some of the stuff that he glances over, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, and I'm pretty sure anybody that has traveled, I know for a fact, anybody that's traveled would agree with me. Like, would you be more scared of you got pulled over for 20 minutes or whatever of answering questions? Or would you be more scared if you got an email saying, your TSA pre has been revoked? Your global entry has been revoked. In my mind, just because of what I do, maybe ordinary people wouldn't think this, but Hasan should be thinking the same thing. In my mind, I just got no fly listed. That's what I would assume.
I'd be like, I fucked up.
Like, I would book a flight to Tampa for 2 days from now, and I would try to see if I could hop on that plane or if they would actually stop me and not let me. That would be my assumption. I got no flight listed.
Yeah.
So the fact that he just blows me, is like, oh yeah, my thing that I was already approved for got revoked, but no big deal. That's bizarre to me. I don't know.
Yeah, and then Pisco is going on here in the replies, and it's kind of, I don't listen. There's people that have been on stream and then not been on stream. I don't understand that there's this, like, it's okay. I get it. You wanted to move on. That's fine.
Well, no, hold on. I think sometimes I feel like Pisco is a little hard on the Trump stuff. I feel like it has more to do with that than anything else. Because I think he bought into this quite a while ago, which I don't think was for the. I still think the argument was shoddy then, although it was a little bit stronger in the past for Hasan before the timeline stuff came out. But
what is your response that people brought up, bringing up the fact that he is on a record changing his story on a podcast following the public availability of the flight in his social media posts? Yeah, he probably lied or embellished that. Doesn't change the analysis. Wait, wouldn't that change it completely? This is a known fabricator.
Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with being a lawyer, kind of, but this really does. Like, impeachability of a witness when giving testimony. And, like, this is part of your goal, part of your dream when you're doing litigation. If you're doing cross-examinations, I want to ask you questions and demonstrate contradictions and show that your story and your recounting of things is not reliable. Because it shows if you're willing to fabricate some stuff. Like, you know how, like, if you're not allowed to bring up past crimes when you're trying to convict somebody of a certain crime?
I didn't know that, but that's good to know.
You're not, like, if you get accused of murder, I'm not allowed to bring up domestic violence charges. Say, look, he fucking got convicted of 2 DV charges.
Really?
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that. But I can bring up evidence of you doing crimes that involve lying to impeach your character. Well, you did wire fraud before. You forged a check. Who's to say you're not lying about this? You can bring up that type. So the fact that he would say that who cares if Hasan lied or embellished about a lot of these things, when keep in mind, Hasan is the sole testimony that we can rely on for every single thing that's happened. We don't have any external information about it. We only have Hasan's testimony. So to say that, like, well, he might have lied or embellished stuff, but that still doesn't change the analysis.
That changes everything.
That's the entire analysis. It's solely built on what he says. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
yeah, that's just...
It's more so disappointing, I think, on, like, now you especially. I deal with lawyers a lot. And you deal with lawyers a lot as well, obviously. And now it's just you view stuff like this and you're like, this guy is not at all like the attorneys that I deal with. I try to get a fucking answer out of my attorneys and it's like the most cautious thing ever. Like, you're like, did you guys have lunch today? And they're like, hold on. When you're saying lunch, can you please define exactly what you mean? Like, because are you talking about a specific time? Like, it's that insane when you deal with a good attorney.
Although I will say, I'm trying to be very charitable. Some people turn their work brain on or work brain off depending on what they're looking at. Like, it happens maybe, but
this is a kind of pretty inexcusable level of.
Like, what are these other tweets? Doesn't matter how you
slice it. It was discriminated on the basis of viewpoint.
What evidence do we have of that? None. And that was the rationale of the stop and questioning. We have no evidence of that. It's what I said, and the coping is wild. There's literally no evidence.
No
In
evidence.
fact, there's evidence because, again, remember, Hasan, I don't have the clips. Hasan volunteered all of this information.
I bet he was there, like... You know what? It's like, it reminds me of like the sovereign citizen traffic stop, and that would have been Hasan getting detained. It's like, are you detaining me? Are you detaining me?
Yeah.
Trump is a criminal.
Like, I want to say this is an important fact. I don't know if you have a clip of this, but wasn't the first mention of Trump by Hasan?
I'm sure it was.
I think because my recollection is they asked him generally, like, what do you do, whatever, blah blah blah, and Hasan was the first one to say, I hate Trump. I thought Hasan was the first.
According to Trump, according to to Hasan. But the issue with Hasan is he's not the most reliable witness, because you remember he was waiting a half hour to get into the meeting and then a half hour
but
after.
I'm just saying, if even because Hasan's recollection is going to be the most charitable to him, right? So if even in Hasan's own recollection, he was the first one who brought up the Trump stuff, well, then what's that? What evidence do we have?
There's nothing.
And like this like weird argument that people are trying to carve out of like, you can't ask anything related to politics. Like, how retarded is this? Like, well, what did you do? Oh, well, I murdered 17 people. I was in France while wearing a Trump hat, by the way. Like, wait, while wearing a Trump hat? First Amendment violation. Why are you asking me about my political clothing? Like, are you fucking retarded? Okay, fine. What did you, hold on, okay, forget I said that. What did you murder them with? A Make America Great Again flag. And he's like, wait, where'd you get the flag? Oh, you're asking me where I bought political memorabilia? Seriously? Like political, like it's such a mindlessly crazy take. Like, oh my God, I don't know.
I don't know why this level of charitability is going out. Is it he just wants to be proven right that Trump is evil? Like
Also, if we just go to the Trump side of things, right? Because somebody asked me this in chat, do you think it's possible for Trump to do this? And my response is no. Trump openly brags that this is not a subtly corrupt administration. Trump is literally on the news saying, yeah, I got $500 million of pro bono work from the law firms that I extorted. Yeah, we are going to kick people out of this country. What did Marco Rubio say? You're going to come to this country and have protests about Israel? No, we're not going to let you in. Since when the fuck is Trump the kind of guy to be subtle about literally anything? The whole election rigging thing they tried to do with the electoral votes and everything in 2020, that was all open on air. Like, this is what we're going to do. No, none of this shit is fucking hidden. They feel like they've got a God-given right to do any of this. Oh, wait. Oh, did you click the link to the question? Yeah, wait, real quick.
Okay.
And I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, do you talk about Trump? And that was the first time where I was like, what the is this question? Like,
hold on.
Oh, wait, go back like 20 seconds. Okay, so maybe the guy did ask that question first.
We're about to find out.
Since you mentioned that, you talk about the things that you talk about. Do you talk about the news? And I was like, yeah, I talk about the news. And he kept saying, okay, so when you talk about the news, do you talk about the war? And I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, do you talk about Trump? And that was the first time where I was like, what the is this question? Like,
so the guy did bring up Trump. That's a good fact to have out there.
I don't believe any of this anyways. Hasan's just a liar. He's a
I mean, I wouldn't believe Hasan anything, but like,
phony.
just to be clear, to reiterate for the 50 millionth time, if they're asking you questions and you're giving details on what you do for work, whatever, they're gonna ask follow-ups. That's what they do. That's the easiest way to determine if a person is lying. Is you just ask follow-ups, right? Because and I know everybody's brain in chat, or no, I'm sorry, I don't actually know my chat is to talk about this so much, but everybody's brain is like, oh my God, they're looking for political shit. What they're looking for is for you to say something fucking retarded, right? For you to say something like, oh, you talk about like politics? Yeah, what do you talk about? Oh, like the war and stuff. Oh, really? Do you ever talk about, Trump or anything else? And if you say some shit like, I talk about Trump. I don't know why he like supports Ukraine so much, or like if you start saying like retarded shit where it's like, wait a second, like, I don't know this. That's when cops are questioning you, whether it's at the border, whether it's the FBI, whether it's local law enforcement. When cops are asking you a question, it's just to see if you're saying shit. Like when a cop pulls you over and they say like, where you headed? The cop isn't asking because he's gonna like go to your work and stalk you. The cop's probably asking because you're on his beat. He knows like the roads. And if you say some weird shit like, oh, I'm going downtown, and it's like, really? Because downtown is 45 minutes that way, and I caught you going, the opposite direction. Shit like that will trip you up, and then you're gonna get fucked. That's what they're usually looking for. And remember, Hasan failed the quest. If he was given a quest to not look like a political opposition to Trump, he failed. He answered every question oppositionally, and Hasan admitted it. He said, I just wanted to see how far I could take it. And then nothing happened. So what the fuck was the point? What are they doing? I'm sorry, I don't know. It's so but
he gave a different version of the story somewhere else. I mean,
play this for like 20 more seconds. Somebody just play this.
Actually, I want to go back a little bit.
Just play this, because somebody says from here, play for like 20 more seconds.
Okay.
I literally straight up told him, I was like, why are you asking me this? I was like, what does this have to do with anything? And it was interesting because the dude asked so many insane questions, none of which is illegal, by the way. I just need you to understand. Nothing I've done online is illegal as of now, if that makes sense. Now, laws may change in the future.
Hold on, almost here. Wait, almost.
They might actually start prosecuting speech, which
what timestamp right now
is the goal of this administration.
Well, move the mouse across
it. Everything I've done is fully protected under the First Amendment.
I can't read it. What's the
And
timestamp?
None of these questions are actually
1310.
valid questions to ask.
Go to
But I was
1340.
entertaining it because, one, I didn't want to actually was not control over conversation.
Okay, hold
So,
on.
you know, instead of just pleading the fifth as I'm supposed to do in situations like this, I just kept giving him answers. And there were definitely areas where I was very revealing about my position, knowing full well that they know exactly what they're looking for. I saw no reason to hold back on certain things. So I said, I don't like Trump. And I was like, what are you going to do? It's protected by the First Amendment. I don't like Trump.
I wish I could.
That's okay. That's okay. So they just asked him if he talks about Trump, if he talks about the war, and then so Hasan is the one who volunteered on. I don't
Almost
like him.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, he said it. Not almost definitely. That, from Hasan's own recollection, he says that. So he was the first one to volunteer. They didn't like him, and nothing happened. But okay.
Yeah, nothing happened.
He was literally spurging out. He thought he was rage baiting the guy, when in reality, the dude's probably like a 65,000 a year airport worker for DHS who's like, Jesus Christ. Like,
This guy is fucking so
let me
full of
ask my
himself.
15 questions and send you fucking home, bro. I don't care. I don't want to be in your TikTok.
And now we have people, like, the problem is, like, I have an issue with this because there's very real concerns of the Trump administration actually doing fucked up shit to immigrants. Like, no shit. They're fucking going, like, look at the protests right now. Look at everything else. Like, crazy stuff is going on right now. And I have a very big problem with someone like Hasan, like, completely
Wanting to be-
discrediting the entire movement of everything going on, giving them a reason. And you're giving him cover. You're like, yeah, I told you. The Trump administration was coming for Hasan because of what he said. And you don't know that. Like, how can you so confidently come out there and say this off of no information? And the answer is you can't. You can't say that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say no information. I would say like contrary information. Most of this points, I think, in the other direction. So, but what are you gonna do?
Nothing. I don't know. The whole situation is quite fucking crazy. Okay. New cope is no. Hasan wasn't stopped and questioned because of viewpoint discrimination. He was stopped because he was in the wrong line, even though the reason he was in the wrong line is viewpoint discrimination. Objection. Facts not in evidence. Is that what they say?
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
There are no facts and evidence.
Yep. He was questioned on the same discriminatory basis. Objection again, Your Honor.
No foundation.
No
Because
foundation?
A wasn't established, I think.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how you slice it. Sorry. Objection. Move to strike.
Doesn't matter how you slice it. Argumentative.
Argument.
Argumentative.
He was discriminated on the basis of viewpoint, and that was the rationale of the. I was about to say slop. That's how fucked I am.
Also,
Yeah.
huge mistake also as well, by the way. Huge mistake, by the way. One, minor mistake. We don't know why he was removed from global entry. So I don't know why he's pretending to know. And two, global entry is not a right.
No, it's
To an
not.
American citizen. It's not like the
You don't-
11th
you don't- no.
Amendment of the United States guarantees expedited airport travel. Like,
No.
these are luxury offers. TSA pre,
And
global entry
they
clear.
can allow it or not allow it however they see fit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can't be like, oh, you're black, so
Probably,
you
it's
don't
probably
get
like
them.
title, whatever. Like you can't, yeah, like racial discrimination or whatever.
Sure.
But I'm sure there are probably categories of stuff that maybe that would like be First Amendment not okay, but for purposes of like expedited travel or whatever, I don't think you're guaranteed the same thing. I don't think they can block you from something.
here's the thing I don't
think they have to
understand.
guarantee you like expedited entry or whatever. Yeah.
I don't understand how someone who's an attorney could make such blatant, like, direct statements of something where they have no information of. Just complete assumptions. You don't know this, motherfucker, because we don't know this.
Yeah.
No one knows this.
Even if we took Hasan's story at his strongest version and there was nothing contradictory, even if we'd gone through the whole story and we checked the timeline and it was like 3 hours from landing to out, there's still no evidence that any of it was viewpoint discrimination. So, yeah. Rip.
Yeah, even that wouldn't matter, right? If it was 3 hours. And it wasn't. He was detained for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But even if he was detained for 2 hours, my thing would be like, what do you want me to say? The airport fucking sucks and it's slow. Yeah, that's probably expected if you're going to do it. That's what I would say. The fact it's 15 minutes is insane.
Yeah.
That's very efficient airport.
But, okay.
He probably lied or embellished. Doesn't matter how you slice it. The new cope. Okay, what else do we have here? The encounter would have...
We're just camping PCO's Twitter feed on this?
Yeah. Encounter would have also been avoidable if he just stayed in the country or never said he said or decided to become a janitor.
I never said what he said or decided to become a janitor.
Oh, it
he's
must be-
assuming that Hasan was stopped because of viewpoint stuff, but we have zero evidence of that at all.
None. Okay. Why is Carantos as a suggested follow here? You know what?
No, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Fuck you, Carantos.
Based.
All right. Now we can actually get to the shit we paid for.